of the troops, you are a soldier. For the troops, that is, no matter whether they're a four-star general or they're a private. There are times when I went toe-to-toe with a very senior officer and argued for that low-ranking private. Okay. When I was a chaplain in the 85th Division, a regimental chaplain, he became the division commander. I didn't know him. I'd heard of him. The word came down that now we're a reserve unit. We have weekend drills. And I noticed that we had a drill scheduled for when there was, during the Jewish high days. And all observant Jews should have been excused from drill to go to synagogue. It was at a time when many of the people were obligated. There was a term, Rep 63 or something of that sort, and I would like to recover what that is. But what it was, they'd served on active duty for 6 months, and they needed then to spend 6 years in the active reserve unit. And if they missed very many drills, they had to go on active duty. So that they would be excused from drill was very important. They were liable for active duty if they exceeded the number that was allowed, which wasn't very many. So Jewish personnel who went to synagogue, which was their obligation and duty, their obligation and right during high days, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, could go on active duty, so they were liable. What General Levine had ordered, I couldn't believe. He couldn't do that. That was illegal. It's against what the Army was for. And he ought to know that. So I called the division chaplain, a lieutenant colonel. At that time, probably I was a major. I might have been just a captain. Yeah, I think I was a captain. And I said to him, "Sir, the general can't do this. And you know that. Tell him he can't do this." He said, "Not me." He said, "If you want to tell him that, you can tell him." I said, "All right, I'm not, if I ask for an audience with him, with General Levine, it will be with your permission. I'm not going over your head." He said, "Yep, you have my permission to go. Just don't tell him that this is what I said. You speak for yourself." So I went as a captain before General Levine, Major General, whom I didn't know, and he said, "All right, Chaplain, how can I help you?" And I told him very polite language, "Sir, you can't do this, and you're going to be in trouble if you do." I mean, that was the final result, but I told him in a very polite way. And he listened patiently, and he said, "Chaplain, that's your position." And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Are you willing to stand behind this?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am. I have to stand behind it." He said, "If I order this to be done, and I say, I'm doing it because you said I have to do that, will you stand behind that?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I will." He said, "Good. That's what he said, I've known that's what I had to do. I needed a Christian chaplain to tell me that I had to do that because I'm Jewish. And I didn't want anybody saying, you only are letting the Jews go to high days because you're a Jew. I want to be able to say a Christian chaplain said I have to do this." And so when I went back to the unit, the non-observant Jews were as much Jewish as the others, but they were at drill because they wouldn't have gone to synagogue anyway. They welcomed me with open arms, and I was a hero. They called me the rabbi to the uncircumcised.